Louisville's new rock alternative on 105.1. It is PK out here at Bourbon and Beyond, and a very, very special guest with me. Why don't you say hi to the fine folks in Louisville?
Hello.
Brian, how you doing, man? You doing all right today?
Yeah, I'm good. Just getting started. First day of tour.
First day of the tour. Yeah. Man, what a way to kick things off with a whole festival for kicking off a tour, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. You gotta, sometimes you start slow, sometimes you start like this.
I mean, yeah, sometimes it's just like, all right, we're gonna start with a bang and, go from there. But, just because it is the first day, I was going to ask this a little bit later on, but let's start with it. How does a festival kind of compare to some of the other, club dates or different venues that you do? I mean, most bands, they always say it's like whether there's 10 people or 10,000 people, you always put on like the same kind of show, the same kind of energy, but there's got to be at least some sort of a different feel when it comes to a festival, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's the same show. I think that you like when the festival, you're dealing with a lot of people who probably don't know who you are, so you just try to play like your best songs or your most popular songs, and then we do. I mean, I don't know, like if somebody wants to play their whole album or whatever, that's fine. I guess that's a choice. But for us, we just like to get in, get out, like thank you very much later, and then like play like as much exciting things to grab like an audience, who may not have heard of us or like may have just like casually heard of us and doesn't really know any of our songs. So I think that's it's worked for us for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been doing it for a long time, but now you're back. You got the new album that's on the way and everything. I mean, like, tell me a little bit about all this, because it has been a hot second since there's been a new album, and most of it was written during the pandemic and all that. And I know there was, everybody was going through it, but tell me a little bit about how that really kind of pushed you guys into getting back together with full touring and a new album together.
Well, it was written post-pandemic, so the record was written after it, but I think the exhaustion from being stuck kind of in one place and inside and like having everything shut down, it sort of like made you feel like, when you're a kid and you're in school all day and then you get out of school and you want to just run. Yeah. It's like that. So and then thinking like too, like also the pandemic, I think kind of made people feel like they're grateful for the things they have, and I started thinking like, man, I got this like I remember when I was a kid, I would have killed to be in a rock band that played like festivals like this and like gets to like, go hang out. Like we go to like all, like I go to the stadium and see Bruce Springsteen and get to hang out with him, and like I would freak out to be treated like that. And I don't know, like, I mean, like to me it seemed like that was like really, really exciting, and to not have that and then to be like stuck in one place, you start thinking about that and you're like, what, man, maybe I shouldn't take this for granted, like maybe we should really try to like figure this out. And then, not that we were taking it for granted, but you know what I mean? Like, you realize how special something is, like, sometimes when you don't have it, especially when it's taken away from you. Yeah. So that's kind of like I think that was probably a big thing. It was probably, probably a big catalyst for calling. Yeah, for sure. And I know you mentioned Bruce Springsteen, who, on the album and everything. I mean, it's cool to see a guest feature like that. And again, for anybody who doesn't know, History Book's coming out on October 27th. We're just over a month away. So, it's the first album in so long. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out. But, I know we kind of do things very quickly when it comes to festivals and everything. But, I want to give you a little bit of time to kind of ponder on this, because it's one of my favorite questions to ask people, when it comes to putting together a different set list. And we talked about this when you're like, you're going to go out, you're going to play some of your biggest songs that people know, all of that. But with the rest of the tour, when it's, you got your headlining tour, you got your set list, you got your max amount of time, you're going to play some of the ones that everybody knows, you're going to play some new ones. What's the one song that you wish would be part of the set list, but you just don't have enough time, you don't have enough space, but you wish that you could always just put that in there? What are you thinking? The funny thing is, I don't have that problem, because we get to decide now. Yeah. So we're kind of at the point where we can literally put in anything, and we do. We change it, like we literally write the set list every single morning. Okay. So every city gets a different show. And yeah, because you got to catch the vibe of the place, and then you see like what should be, and you don't want to like I feel like if you play the same songs every night, then everybody goes online and they can see the set list, and then they know what they're getting before they even get there. Yeah. So I think keeping people surprised, and we pull way back, like songs from way back, and like anything, like it could be anything. Yeah. So for us, it's like, I don't know, we kind of made that be our, like, maybe that's not the best way to do it. Maybe, you know, there's...
Hey, if it works for Pearl Jam, then it's going to work for you guys.
Yeah, it works for Pearl Jam, it works for us, it's good.
I'm here for it. I love that you're able to do that and that the fans are really supportive, because, I mean, like, I'm sure at some point in the career, it's like, okay, we have the set list every night, and then you would find that song, like, during the set where it's like, you're like, all right, they heard this one, and then you see some of the people start to walk out, maybe. It's like, you're like, I saw the one that I wanted to see, and all of that.
Fortunately, I think that happens a lot more if you have, like, if you're like I found that happens a lot when you're a radio band. Yes. So if there's a lot of bands where they only know you from the radio, like if you have a hit, and I don't mean the radio, I mean like a hit, like if you, whether it's Spotify, whatever.
Pop culture, yeah.
Pop culture. Like if you have one song or two songs and they only know you from that, but if they're like, if they're like fans and they're invested in the band, then they kind of stay a little longer. So, and great for us is we've never had that problem because we've never had hits. So it's awesome.
I mean, I guess bittersweet. You know, it's like
no, it's just totally sweet.
I love it. Well, I mean, you're getting that radio push right now, especially with the new album. I mean, we played Positive Charge on All 105.1, and I mean, you know, in the title, I mean, Positive Charge, I mean, it was all about kind of that, you know, that joyfulness and all of that. So, like, tell me a little bit about that one, because I know especially All 105.1 listeners are very familiar with that song. So tell me a little bit about that one in particular.
Well, that was kind of me writing to myself and also the audience and the band. So that was a real personal song, like to everybody who's listening, and I think that one was probably the first one that I wrote and was like, oh, this feels like the Gaslight Anthem to me, and so it really like encouraged, because before I went to anybody, I promised myself I would write 4 songs that I felt were good enough, and so like that was one of the ones I had to finish. So
I love it. Well, Brian, I appreciate you taking the time, man, and you know, I'm looking forward to catching the set later on. And are you looking forward to? Are you going to be sticking around to see any of the bands today, or are you guys like kind of just in and out?
No, we're gonna stick around. I'm gonna watch. I want to see Duran Duran. We're friends with the Killers guys, so I'm gonna see Brandon somewhere around here. But yeah, well, you know, we're gonna check it out. The guys are excited about Wayne Newton. I don't know any Wayne Newton songs, but like
I don't either. But I mean, like
they're very excited.
That's kind of the glory of a festival, though. Is like you get to kind of just like you're here, you might as well watch some of the different acts that are going to be playing. So
of course, you got to check out. You know, and you get to see them for free because you're already playing.
Exactly. There you go. Hey, maybe go and make friends with them too. It's like the rest of the band will be like over the moon. I love it, Brian. I appreciate you taking the time, man. For sure. Have a good set tonight, and I mean today, I guess. I mean, yeah. 3:55. Yeah, it's before evening. I know. I know. We'll find out. You should probably know the time. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.